Kenneth, we want to take you right to inside Westminster Hall. Live pictures now of vigil taking place within that medieval room. King Charles and the Queen's children having a moment of silence and reflection right now. This is a pretty monumental moment for people that have been waiting in line for hours to come visit the Queen, because those individuals coming through right now had no idea, more than likely, that they were going to be coming into the room to not only pay their respects to the Queen, but also, as you can see, King Charles III is in there now, along with his sister, Princess Anne, his brother, Prince Edward, and also his brother, Prince Andrew. King Charles III there, moment of reflection, prayer, thought, all about taking a moment just to be before their public and honor their mother. Aaron Katursky with me now, just flew in from the States to be with us with our continuing coverage. So you know, Aaron is our investigative correspondent at ABC News, and he knows a lot about the security. Oh, why don't we take a listen? Okay, clearly they had their moment of reflection, their vigil right there with the members of the public waiting to come in. What happens now as they wrap up? You see Princess Anne there.
The Beefeaters staff came down on the floor, 2 taps to signal the end of the vigil, led by King Charles III, who has left the center stage, the elevated platform where his mother's coffin has been lying in state for 2 days now, leading his siblings, the Queen's children, out of Westminster Hall. For this moment, Kira, the queue has paused, but anybody who was inside was able to spend moments with the new king. And fascinating how, though he was there, the focal point remained his mother. His eyes were cast downward as he now leads his siblings out of the room. And the queue now resuming as people start to shuffle forward. You can see them curtsy or bow in front of the Queen's coffin.
One woman there just blew a kiss to the Queen. I've been seeing that all throughout the day, too. They've been doing the signs of the cross. They've been curtsying. They've been blowing kisses. They've been saying prayers, wiping tears. So here's what was so amazing about that moment is that everything that we've been witnessing, we have a plan of events. We know what we're about to see. But those, like the members of the public, locals, those that have come from all over the world to be here, they don't know every single step of what's about to happen. And so there's a lot of element of surprise. So imagine waiting 20 hours in the queue, coming into Westminster Hall. Not only are you seeing the Queen, you're seeing her 4 kids.
And the anticipation and the reaction of members of the public are the unscripted moments in this heavily choreographed 11 days of official mourning for Queen Elizabeth. Because as regimented as the details are, there's a human element here in how ordinary people are reacting not only to the death, but also the celebration of the life of Queen Elizabeth. And we've met so many people coming out of Westminster Hall today who were glad to wait. I met one woman, said she was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, took a train into central London, 12.5 hours in line, and she came out of that room with a bright smile on her face, feeling like she had contributed to this shared moment.
And that was a historic moment for Princess Anne in military dress.
She's been in military dress, but we had not seen Prince Andrew in military dress, reflecting his diminished status in the royal family. This was the only time, and we expect when the Queen's grandchildren do a very similar vigil here tomorrow night, that Prince Harry will also be in military dress for the first and only time after he stepped away from his official duties of the royal family. And you can tell just by what members are wearing where they stand. And Prince Andrew, given the interruption in his royal duties from his association with Jeffrey Epstein, had not been in his military uniform despite seeing action in the Falklands, but here wearing it for this vigil to stand guard over his mother's coffin.
It's interesting because she's the one that, stripped him of those military honors. And I don't even know if you know the answer to this, but I'm just curious how that decision was made that he could wear his uniform. Do we know? Do we know how that was discussed and decided?
I'm not sure how it was discussed.
But with Princess Anne, I guess I should point out, yes, we have seen her in a military uniform as we did in the procession along the mall, but this moment in Westminster Hall in this vigil is the first time for a woman to stand there in her military dress.
Just an extraordinary moment, and really, I think, befitting, too, given how she spent so many moments, especially toward the end, with her mother. There at the very end, there to stand in life and in death with Queen Elizabeth, and the first woman to participate like this is extraordinary for Princess Anne.
On top of the Queen's coffin, we should point out the imperial crown, also the orb and scepter. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I'm actually going to go back to the details that we were able to find on the crown, the specific stones within that, and also the orb and scepter. First of all, the crown up top, the St. Edward sapphire, and then the Black Princess ruby in the middle, and then the Cullinan diamond cut from the largest diamond in the world on that crown, and then the scepter, the cross that's mounted on the globe, symbolizing the Christian world, and the scepter also with a Cullinan diamond, the largest gem from the Cullinan diamond up top, 92 centimeters long, goldenrod, enameled rose thistle, and shamrock at the very end.
The very symbol of the Queen's power in the world, the scepter. And for many people who were coming to pay their respects in Westminster Hall, they didn't know these items would be on public display, and it was a real thrill. I met one woman who was just in awe of the glittering nature of that crown.
Because normally you can go visit them, the crown jewels, as a tourist when you're visiting London. I remember my mom taking me, I think I was 8 years old, and I was so fascinated. And so to see them out on display like this is pretty remarkable.
Remarkable indeed, and the care it takes to make sure they're fit for public consumption like this. Members of the royal household have to intricately clean them and make sure they're in tip-top shape to be resting on the coffin of the Queen.
Aaron, thank you so much. I'm glad we had that moment together. There's been a lot of moments thus far and many more to come for sure.
Thanks, Kira.
And ABC News will be bringing you team coverage bright and early Monday morning, covering the entire funeral for the Queen. You can start watching right here on ABC News Live, 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And Kenneth, we'll take it back to you.
All right, Kira, thank you so much to you and to Aaron Kotersky.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.